Hi, I'm Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to share with you how I made this cute little bunny rabbit wreath for the spring and Easter season. Let's get started. Hi again. First I want to apologize for being off camera, but I'm trying to get some things together in my home and I really don't want you all to see the mess. So today we're going to make this cute little bunny rabbit wreath for the spring and Easter season. And I started with a wreath form, round wreath form. It's 14 inches. And then I'm just wrapping around my ribbon. And I'm doing that loosely at first. And then what I'm going to do is kind of tighten it up as I go around. But I wanted to get a whole lot of loops around the wreath form so I wouldn't have to keep rolling that, ribbon out. So I started by, on the back side of the wreath, adding a little bit of glue. And you see the end of my ribbon, I tucked it in. I do not like raw edges, so you always see me trying to tuck those in. So I'm going to just hold that there a second. And then I'm just going to start wrapping this ribbon around. So first I got to loosen it up a little bit. I got it too tight where I need to work. And so I need that area a little bit looser. So once I get this separated out, I will be able to start wrapping this around. And while I'm doing that, let me also mention, sorry again, I've been MIA. Life's been a little crazy over the past year, but I am still working toward getting back on track, and hopefully I can do that this spring. All right, so what I do as I wrap this ribbon around is put a little dab of glue on that inner ring each time I wrap it around. And that is because once this ribbon is wrapped around, someone picking it up or just handling it, someone picking it up or handling it could actually move that ribbon back and forth. It could slide. So I will make sure it grips the frame each time I wrap it around so none of those pieces of ribbon can move. Also because sometimes you add decor to the wreath and you might want to tuck it actually under the ribbon. And again, if I decide to do that, I don't want the ribbon to move. So I take my time and I carefully go around and I add a little glue each time, as you'll see, to that inner ring. And take my time with wrapping it around so to make sure I don't get any wrinkles. That's another thing. I'm kind of, a little crazy about that. I do not like wrinkles in my ribbon. So I'm trying to be really careful about getting it good and snug, watching my angles. And if you just take your time, you won't get a whole bunch of wrinkles. So I'm going to work my way on around here, and then we'll be on to the next step. So now that I've got my ribbon completely wrapped around, the next thing I want to do is take that final end and tuck it in. Again, so I don't have any raw edges showing because, ribbon can unravel a little bit. So I want that tucked in, so that won't happen. I put a little glue on there and I just laid it down. And again, this is the back side of the wreath. And we've got it all smoothed out. I completely have the ribbon wrapped around. And you can see it's pretty smooth. I might have a few little teeny spots of puckling, but for the most part, if you look at that edge, you can see I did a pretty good job of getting it all tucked in nice and tight. So for the next step, sorry I lost my video, but what I did was I took this Easter Bunny sign, it's an MDF sign, and I flipped it over and you can see it's got straps attached to the back. And I cut those straps so that I separated each of the carrots from the bunny at the top. I left the straps attached to each section though. So you'll see that it still has the straps on the back of that carrot because I'm going to wrap wire around through that little loop on the back of each item. And then I'm going to send that wire through my wreath so that it can be attached securely. And so here it is attached, and I'm going to flip it over and show you that the top of the bunny ears got secured with glue, and I left a strap attached because I'm going to make sure that gets secured to the top of the wreath. And you'll see where I'm pointing now, that's where the wire came through from the carrots. And I'm going to twist that down and cover it so that, it won't poke through or won't scratch your door. So the next thing I want to do is to make my bow. So I'm going to start with the same ribbon that I used to wrap my wreath, and I want to use it in the bow, but I don't want to have a lot of it. So I'm just going to cut two 12-inch strips like I'm doing here, and then I'm going to take them and clip my dovetails in the end. And then using my bow maker, I'm going to fold these in half so I know the middle point. And I'm just going to scrunch it up, stick one in there kind of at an angle, and then stick the next one in at the other, going the other direction, so I have like an X. That way it will show from behind the bow. You kind of draw in the bow into the wreath, but it won't be like way too much of this check. So since I want to keep this neutral, the next ribbon I'm using is just this neutral ribbon. And this is all wired ribbon. And this one happens to be from Sam's Club. Got this last year. And I've been looking for their spring ribbon this year. I hope they get it. A lot of people on YouTube have already said theirs have it, but on the East Coast, I have not seen it yet. So this is going to be just a simple bow because it's not a huge wreath. And I just made 6-inch tails on both sides and 6-inch loop, and only made 2 loops. And now I'm going to take this polka dot ribbon, again a very neutral color, and I'm going to do the same thing, 6-inch tails and slightly smaller than 6-inch loops because I want, the next loop to come in a little bit and you'll be able to see it. So we almost finished that. I'm going to clip that right there. And I do come back later and cut my dovetails in the end, but I think I forgot to show that too. Got to get used to recording again. I'm leaving things out. All right. So got my tinsel tie wrapped around there, my pipe cleaner, whatever you choose to call it. And I decided, nope, first thing I'm going to do is put a zip tie around it. And that way, if somebody removes the tinsel tie, the whole bow won't fall apart. So I'm going to put a zip tie around it first, and so it's secured tightly. First, I'm kind of shaping it up, because once you pull it tight, it's really hard to, shape it the way you want it. And I use these they're jewelry pliers, really. I use those to pull, because my hands don't have a whole lot of strength. And I got that on securely. I clipped off the end, and now I'm putting my pipe cleaner around there, and I'm going to use the pipe cleaner to attach it to the wreath. The other thing I want to use as decor on this wreath is some greenery and a carrot, and that will kind of tie in the carrots at the bottom of the wreath. And so I went through my greenery and I found this. It's from Dollar Tree again, and I thought it was like the closest one I had that looks like an actual carrot top. So this is the one I chose, and you see I put a little bit of glue in one because the greenery on these stems slides up and down, and so I wanted to secure it so it wouldn't slide off of the stem. Oh, I did record it, so here I am going back and clipping the ends of my tails, and that will complete my bow. So the next step, like I said, is to take that white tinsel tie or pipe cleaner that I put on the back, and I'm kind of deciding where I want this bow to go. And I told you I got that cord that's attached to the bunny ears. I'm bringing that up too, and I'm going to tie that into where I'm catching the bow, so it will be caught. So like I said, if the glue becomes loose on the bunny ears, then it is still attached because it's caught up in this attachment I have for the bow. So I put that on, I twisted it around about 3 times, and now I'm twisting the 2 ends together to make a loop so you can hang the wreath. This wreath, the way it's made, it can be hung by the wreath itself, or you can use this loop that I'm attaching to the back. so the person has a choice of how they want to hang their wreath. So with that being done, you got to fluff that bow a little bit. Kind of mashed it a bit there. So now I've chosen my pieces that I'm going to use for a greenery that I want to use to attach to my bow. I want it to be right at the top here. So I put some glue down and I'm adding both of them in. I want them angled slightly so it's not just sticking straight up. That'll look kind of weird. So plenty of glue on that and some glue on the back of the carrot. I'm going to stick that right there in the center of my bow. Hold it a second until it's secure. And we are getting close to the end. So the carrot had a little bit of greenery on it, and I just left it there to just blend in. And here's my wreath. I thought this little bunny was just so cute, so adorable, and surrounding him with these neutral colors I think was a great choice. So I appreciate you spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.